Maggie Collins didn't look like someone shopping for a luxury vehicle. She wore a simple blouse, jeans, and well-worn sneakers. Nothing flashy, nothing designer. But she walked into the dealership with confidence, curiosity in her eyes, and a quiet smile. To her, it wasn't about appearances. She was practical, intentional, and had done her research. But before she could even greet anyone, a young sales associate gave her a once-over and turned his attention elsewhere. No hello, no offer of help, just a look that said, "You're in the wrong place." Maggie glanced around, unsure whether to wait or leave. She stood next to a sleek black convertible, reading the specs. Still, no one approached her. A couple in business suits walked in minutes later and were immediately swarmed with attention. Maggie had seen this kind of thing before, but today, it stung a little more. What the staff didn't know was that Maggie wasn't just browsing, she was ready to buy, and she wasn't alone. After a few awkward minutes of being ignored, Maggie calmly made her way to the reception desk. "Hi," she said gently. "I'm interested in the new hybrid SUV you have on display." The receptionist didn't even look up right away. When she finally did, her tone was flat. "Those start at around $90,000, she said, as if delivering a warning rather than helpful information. Maggie nodded politely. "Yes, I know. I'd like to take a look inside if possible." Instead of assisting her, the receptionist paged a junior associate, someone clearly less experienced, almost as if Maggie wasn't worth a senior salesperson's time. The young man led her to the vehicle but barely engaged, offering clipped responses to her questions. Maggie didn't push back. She had nothing to prove. But as she sat in the driver's seat, her phone buzzed. A short message appeared. "Heading over now. Give me 5 minutes." Maggie smiled to herself. If they couldn't see her worth now, they were about to find out in the most unexpected way. Just as Maggie stepped out of the vehicle, the low, unmistakable purr of an engine rolled into the showroom lot. Heads turned as a silver Rolls-Royce Ghost eased up to the front entrance, gleaming in the sunlight. The driver's door opened, and out stepped a tall man in a tailored navy suit, confident, poised, and instantly recognizable to anyone who read Forbes. Alexander Collins, Maggie's husband. Billionaire investor, the kind of man who usually got a private showroom tour before he even asked. As he entered the dealership, the energy shifted. Staff scrambled to greet him, suddenly full of smiles and eager handshakes. But Alexander had eyes only for Maggie. He walked straight toward her, kissed her gently on the cheek, and said, "Sorry I'm late. Ready to pick out your new car?" The room fell silent. The junior associate blinked, realizing what had just happened. The receptionist's face turned pale. Maggie didn't gloat, she simply met Alexander's gaze, then looked around and said calmly, "I think we'll need a manager." Within minutes, the general manager appeared polished, professional, and suddenly very attentive. He extended his hand to Alexander with a forced smile. "Mr. Collins, what a surprise! Had we known you were visiting, we would have arranged a private showing." Alexander didn't take the handshake. "I'm not here for special treatment," he said coolly. "I'm here because my wife was treated like she didn't belong." The manager glanced at Maggie, clearly uncomfortable, but tried to recover. "I'm sure there's been a misunderstanding. A staff would never..." Alexander cut him off. "I don't need excuses. I need accountability." He gestured toward the sales floor. "Your team saw a woman in jeans and sneakers and assumed she couldn't afford to be here. No one welcomed her, no one offered help, and when she asked about a car, she was dismissed. That's not just poor service, it's poor judgment." The room went quiet again. Maggie stood beside her husband, calm and composed. "We don't want apologies," she added. "We want change, because next time, it won't be me. It'll be someone who really needs kindness, and you'll never know what opportunity you've lost." Her voice wasn't angry, it was firm. and it echoed louder than any shouting ever could. The manager cleared his throat, clearly rattled but trying to salvage the moment. "Mr. and Mrs. Collins, I assure you, this is not how we train our team to treat customers. I take full responsibility and will address it immediately." Alexander gave a slight nod, but it was Maggie who stepped forward. "That's a start," she said softly, "but I'd like to propose something more meaningful." She reached into her purse and pulled out a small business card. "I run a non-profit that helps underserved communities, youth, mentorship, financial literacy, career skills. Every week, we host workshops that open people's eyes and hearts. Your sales manager here is welcome to join us. Volunteer for a few weekends. See what real respect looks like from people who've never been given the benefit of the doubt." The manager blinked, caught off guard. The sales manager, standing nearby, looked like he wanted to disappear, but Maggie wasn't cruel, just honest. "We all have blind spots," she said. "This is a chance to do something about them." Alexander placed a hand on her shoulder, proud. "We'll still buy the car," he said, "but we're not walking away unchanged, and neither should you." 2 weeks later, Maggie stood at the community center, welcoming a new group of volunteers. Among them was the very same sales manager from the dealership, dressed down, sleeves rolled up, eyes wide as he took it all in. He wasn't there to impress anyone, he was there to learn. That day, he helped set up chairs, passed out flyers, and listened to teens talk about being judged for how they looked, where they came from, what they wore. And for the first time in a long time, he didn't have anything to sell, just something to understand. Meanwhile, back at the dealership, a framed photo of Maggie and Alexander had quietly appeared in the customer loungeout as a power move, but as a reminder that every person who walks through those doors deserves respect, whether they pull up in a Rolls-Royce or ride in on the bus. Maggie never sought revenge. She sought reflection. And in the end, that made all the difference. Because change doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes it walks in wearing sneakers and leaves behind a legacy.